are you comfortable for Phil speaking out like this? And it seems like he's speaking for a lot of players.
I asked a question this morning to another player. Why didn't he play Phoenix and why is he not playing here? He's never missed these. I'm surprised he didn't play. I don't know. I don't know what Phil's doing. I know Phil's got a lot of stress in life right now. And, I don't know what he's doing. I know he's not speaking for me.
Hello and welcome to this episode of the Minnesota Left-handers podcast. But there was a couple of statements made this week, both by Phil Mickelson and Greg Norman. You just heard Pat Perez at the beginning of this episode kind of talking about it as well. And given those statements, I felt that a quick 10, 12-minute podcast was worth my time and worth chatting about getting out there. So let's take a look at Greg Norman and Phil Mickelson's statements respectively here. Phil Mickelson came out and talked about, sort of half apologized, I suppose. I don't know. We'll get into that in just a moment. That came out earlier this week. And then just today, as I record this, February 24th, Greg Norman wrote a letter to Jay Monahan, the commissioner of the PGA Tour, strongly worded, to put it lightly. I tweeted the pictures of the letter out on my Instagram, but I'm going to read just a chunk of it here. And he's speaking directly to the whole banning of players should they join another tour, and if that's okay or where we land on that. It just seems like the world isn't ready for this yet. The golf world isn't ready for a new tour. It might be something that takes off in the future. We've seen that in politics where ideas, show up at the wrong time and people just aren't ready for it yet. And then it goes in future years. Maybe that'll be true with this. Maybe it just needs time. Maybe it just needs, to be more developed and just needs a better presentation to the players, because as we've heard from guys like Rory, and Colin Morikawa too, I think they've just said, like, I don't know what it is. I don't see it happening. I don't think that they're ready. But Greg Norman doesn't seem ready to back down just because it didn't fire up necessarily this year. He didn't pull any top guys. Part of the letter reads, simply put, you can't ban players from playing golf. Players have the right and the freedom to play where we like. I know for a fact that many PGA players are still interested in playing for a new league, in addition to playing for the tour. What is wrong with that? What is wrong with allowing players to make their own decisions about where to play and how often to play? What is so wrong with player choice? Why do you feel so threatened that you would resort to such a desperate, unwise, and unenforceable threat? That of banning PGA Tour players. He went on to say, this is not the end. This is just the beginning. So it feels as though Greg Norman has lost the battle, but not the war. And I guess we'll see where this goes. To some extent, he has a point. I mean, why should the PGA Tour have a monopoly on players, especially who are individual contractors? I don't know. We'll see where this goes. It seems like it's kind of dead in the water this year, just because of some of the names that showed up were not, or that haven't denounced it or stepped away from it, aren't going to draw eyeballs, but that doesn't mean that they maybe won't in the future. I also mentioned Phil Mickelson's sort of apology, non-apology. It's interesting. At one point, there were quotes that got out, specifically from Alan Shipnuck, who's writing an unofficial, I don't remember what it's going to be called, but an autobiography of Phil. And not an autobiography, I suppose, but a biography of Phil, where Phil had some choice words for the Saudis, and I'll let you look those up. They're not suitable for a clean podcast. But in his apology, it says something about how there's there is the problem of off-the-record comments being shared out of context and without my consent. But the bigger issue is that I used words I sincerely regret and do not reflect my true feelings or intentions. It was reckless. So he claims that the bigger issue is that he was reckless, but he starts it with, look, these were off the record. But both Shipnuck and John Feinstein have tweets out and responses that say, that's not how the record works. These quotes were on the record. So he went on to say, like, I was wrong. I shouldn't have said those things. Then golf desperately needs change. My experience with Live Golf Investments, which is Greg Norman's golf company, has been very positive, and goes on to say, the past 10 years, I have felt the pressure and stress slowly affecting me at a deeper level. I know I have not been my best and desperately need some time away to prioritize the ones I love most and work on being the man I want to be. Like, this doesn't seem like, okay, the stress thing seems so vague. I started the episode with Pat Perez talking about stress in Phil's life, and like I don't know what that means. Like what stress? I don't know. I wish there was more there. Maybe there is stress that we don't know about. I can't say, but this feels like a suspension, and per PGA Tour rules, they don't have to disclose reasons for suspensions. There's all those rumors around Dustin Johnson's time away. I think it was like for his mental health, but there was lots of rumors going around that it was, for drug rehab, and who knows, it could have been, might not have been, but the PGA Tour doesn't have to say, so the players can kind of get away with saying whatever they want. So Phil needs, quote unquote, some time away to work on being the man he wants to be. I don't know that these quotes made him any separately like a man that he doesn't want to be or shouldn't be or whatever. That's why this seems so vague. I don't know. Like, maybe the stress could be there, but I don't know that anything here has to do with his being a man that he wants to be. I don't know. Kind of a weird way to phrase that. So we'll see. It's also weird that in this he's still the reigning PGA Championship champion. So it'll be interesting how that kind of fits itself in. The whole PIP thing, he claims to have won the PIP. That announcement's coming soon, that official announcement. So amid this time away and after this weird rant that he went on about Saudis and the PGA Tour and whatever, the PGA Tour has to award him, the $8 million and the recognition and all of that. There are rumors that maybe Tiger won it too, but if it is in fact Phil, and we find that out, it could be kind of just an awkward moment there. And so that's it for now. That's all I have as far as world of golf stuff. We are heading into, well, actually today was the first round of the Honda Classic as I record this. Interesting. The Florida swing doesn't quite do it for me the way that the West Coast does. I like desert golf. Bay Hill will be interesting. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if what comes of it. The Honda's sort of a bit of a down week. But that doesn't mean that there can't be some fun stuff. It's a cool course. It's PGA National. There's 5 courses. This one's obviously the Bear Trap is the last 3 holes. The name for how fierce those last 3 holes are, I suppose. I don't know. But yeah, we'll see where this goes. Look for a recap pod from me as soon as next week when it's done, when we'll have payouts as well. But most importantly, and as always, this podcast was created first and foremost to raise awareness for the State Lefty Open. We are approaching the end of February, which means golf in Minnesota is right around the corner. This year, the State Lefty Open is at Riverwood National in Otsego, Minnesota on January 16th and 17th. It's a 2-day event. with a skins game at an executive course across the street. Same owners, same organization, same everything. So should go pretty well. The 16th tee times are at 9 o'clock a.m. and on the 17th tee times start at noon. Pending how many players we have, it's flighted, all that. So just because it has a state Lefty Open title to it doesn't mean that it's officially official and there's some handicap thing. Like, it's not MGA certified or whatever. It's not a tournament like that. It's a fun event started by a bunch of guys who just wanted to have a weekend, play some golf together. It's not, going to qualify you for a USGA event or get you MGA points or anything of the sort. It's really a fun deal, and it's just kind of unique to have all lefties there. So if you are looking for an event, this might be the one for you. You can get on an email list with me at MnLefthanders@gmail.com and get, for now, monthly updates, weekly or bi-weekly as spring approaches and summer approaches as well. I'm at MnLefthanders and across most of your social media channels. And once you get on that email list, I attach the flyer each and every email, and it's also on my story on Instagram. So all of that is available to you. If that sounds like it's something of interest to you, please do take a look. At least join the email list. Maybe keep it top of mind as that time approaches. Thanks for listening, and come back soon for more episodes.